This is Governor Bobber. I like good day, doctors.
George Allen here. Good day, doctors.
Hey, this is Governor Chris Christie from New Jersey. Good day, doctors.
Go! You're watching Dr. Politics.
It is Friday. It is Dr. Politics and Political Architecture Show. Welcome. It is April 12th.
Yep, a couple days from tax day. Yep. I don't know about you, but I've got my taxes in and it wasn't as bad as I thought. So I'm happy.
It's worse than I thought.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I really was looking for a little bit of a hit. It wasn't so bad, so I was happy.
Yeah, but I tell you, it's just ridiculous. The state of Maryland's taxes are worse, I think, than the federal proportionately.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that's right. We're in different states.
Yeah. Although your governor did veto a lot of stuff this week with the new budget, which is great. It's nice when they do fiscal responsible things,
Yeah,
so
it's a tough position. It's a tough position to be in because now we don't have either house. When Youngkin first got elected, we at least had the House of Delegates, and so he had some leverage. But now, without either one, even though it's close, but still without either one, it's hard to get anything. It's almost like the veto pen becomes the only power he's got, or almost the only power.
And he's got the line item veto.
But even there, I guess, that's not a guarantee. I mean, they have to still come to ultimately some sort of agreement. And
let's just start with and some of the biggest news this week. O.J. Simpson has passed on.
Yeah, it's interesting. Everybody has sort of a memory. It's like our parents' generation. It was, where were you when JFK was shot? When I was a kid, I remember where Reagan was shot. But I think it's also O.J. and where were you when they had the low-speed Bronco chase? I was in Tyson's Corner at a bar with this girl. We had just seen this movie, Speed, and I don't know if you remember. Speed was basically the same thing. It was a low-speed chase.
Yeah,
so we go to the bar and look on TV, and we were like, "What's going on?" And that's when
Speed, the one with the original Speed, the one with the bus that couldn't stop. It had to go so many miles, otherwise the bomb would explode.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, with Sandra Bullock and Keanu Reeves.
It would slow down enough for Keanu Reeves to jump on and jump off.
What was that?
Wasn't he able to jump off the bus and jump back on and stuff like that?
Yeah, maybe. It's been so many years.
I'm thinking if he could do that, shouldn't everyone else on the bus be able to do that and then let the bus explode?
Yeah, that's right. And that was with Dennis Hopper. He was the bad guy. Remember Dennis Hopper, the bad guy?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That's when Sandra Bullock was still very pretty. Well, she still is, but those
she was also, Sandra Bullock was also, you remember the old Bionic Woman and $6 Million Man TV shows from the late 70s, early 80s? Well, NBC made, The Return of the $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman and a bunch of other movies like that. And the second was, they had a movie called The Bionic Showdown where you had the first time people choosing to get bionics. And Sandra Bullock was a quadriplegic with bionics. And there was a Russian bionic guy who was trying to kill Gorbachev at some games in Toronto. And with the help of Steve Austin and Jamie Summers, Sandra Bullock foiled the Russians' plan.
Okay. Well, I remember her in the remember the movie The Net, that computer movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
But that's where I was. That's when I was when OJ was on that low-speed Bronco chase.
And
I was almost wondering. I don't know if you thought about this, but the thought occurred to me when he died. I heard he died, and I was surprised. Only 76, but I'd almost wondered if maybe there'd be like a deathbed confession.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess if they did, there was no one. There was no one there that either they heard it or said anything. I just wondered, just out of curiosity. I always wondered if maybe in his deathbed he'd admit that he killed both.
He did it in his book. Didn't he admit it in his book? I did it.
He said, if I had did it or something like that. So
yeah.
I guess he's just trying to raise money that way. But
yeah. And I tell you, what the sad thing is, the Goldman family are not going to get anything from the wrongful death suit.
Really? Not even from the estate?
No.
No.
Remember, most of his stuff was in his retirement, and that couldn't be touched.
Right.
And now that's going to go to the kids.
Is that generally the way the law? I know you're not a lawyer, but is that generally the way the law is? That
law school, though.
No, but I'm just saying is retirement, and maybe this is an example of that, where it's mostly off limits.
I think so, but I do know in divorces, I think it's not.
Okay, no, it's not. No, it's not.
But I think it's like in these claims. But then again, I guess no, it probably isn't even divorce. Like if it's like in your own IRA, like in your own retirement account. You can't. Then again,
I guess it's hard to really get at that for creditors, at least from a creditor standpoint, such as the Goldmans. Maybe they really couldn't get into that. And then even when he died, are you saying that even when he dies, it's not counted as an estate or a lien? Maybe.
No, I don't think it is because it wouldn't. Oh, okay. I don't know. It's complicated. Maybe if Mark is watching, he can chime in on that. By the way, congratulations, Susan. Looks like you got your internet back.
Oh, yeah. Good, Susan.
She was having issues with DSL. She was telling us last night.
Well, God bless Susan. At least we know we have one person watching.
Actually, there's 3 people watching right now.
All right, good.
It's like the old radio station jokes. We got 3 viewers,
The show must go on. But I was surprised. I didn't see it coming. I don't know if you knew he was sick. He was sick and probably been sick for a while, but I didn't know he was near death.
Yeah, prostate cancer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the life. But I thought it was funny that there was I'm trying to think of his name. He was a black activist.
Yeah.
And he actually said, even if he did, it's fine that OJ got off. And I'm like, really?
Yeah. You know who I met who's related to the case? Mark Furman. He came to NET.
Mark Furman also came to Accuracy Media event too.
Okay. Furman's a big guy. I saw him. He was a big guy, and he was moving at the time when I talked to him to, I guess it's Idaho. He was moving off to Idaho.
Didn't he also have wasn't he like a regular on? Didn't he like have sort of a show at NET at one point?
I don't know. When I was there, he didn't, but maybe eventually he did. But he came on as a guest, and I forgot what the show was. So he came on as a guest.
They had some great guests. So I can't imagine. Was he on Direct Line? I can't imagine Paul having him on.
I don't know. Maybe it was a morning. Probably maybe my show, Morning View.
No, or Mitchell's in the Morning. Was that before your time?
That was before me, but I just got there when it was.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So,
but he was a very good detective. He was a good detective. He solved a couple other cases later and became a writer.
It's like I think was Marion Fogelson was on that show, the morning show you did.
Yep.
Was Greg Jenkins the producer for that, or were you the producer on that?
No, Greg Jenkins was the producer, or he was. He was above me and Kyle, and then I think eventually Steve Wyrick took over. And then Jenkins left. I don't know where he went.
Did he go? I thought somebody told me he went into the administration.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah.
Because he was from Texas, Yeah. Jamie, I think, kept in touch with him. Our friend Jamie McDonald used to keep in touch with him. Happy Friday, Craig.
All right.
We missed you last night. We missed
Free Fry Friday.
Pizza. Yeah. Yeah, that's our other viewer, Chris. He likes his Free Fry Fridays.
Yeah, Free Fry Friday.
So we missed you last night, Craig. And also, we've got, enough about OJ. We're almost at taxes are due on Monday, whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
You gotta get the IRS has to get the pound of flesh in, right?
I guess so.
I really think we should make election day and tax pay day it's the exact same day, frankly.
No, I agree.
And I don't think we'd have a single incumbent in Washington.
Yeah. But the other thing is the insidious sort of thing they did is by doing withholding, you don't really feel it so much because it's withheld. And I think a lot of people they never see the money.
Yeah,
but could you imagine if you did, Could you imagine if you didn't have withholding and all of a sudden they come to you at the end of the year and say, well, you owe $10,000?
Yeah. Sometimes, and the worst is when you're self-employed, you have a business.
Yeah.
It's more painful.
Yeah.
And it's just hilariously funny here. But I tell you, I think this guy, what do you call it here? This captures the sentiment of most Americans today. Here, let me share this.
Taxi!
Ooh, look, the IRS.
Oh, boo yourself.
That is, yes.
Yeah, it's a classic. That is a lot.
That is the sentiment of how most Americans feel about the IRS.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it is just a dreadful organization.
Well, and it's horrible that they hired all those additional agents too.
With guns.
They hired all those additional agents, and you know who they're going to be going after.
Oh yeah.
People in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, and then and by the way, inflation reports were in today. Things are a lot more expensive today than they were.
Yeah. CPI.
4 years ago.
And speaking of inflation, one of the great lies that Biden tells lots of them, but one is he said that inflation was surging when he got elected. That's false. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It was 1.4% in January of 2021. We haven't gotten back to 21 that level since he got elected. Since he took
we
office.
have not. We have not, and it's just part of the mythos of the Biden thought process.
Yeah.
So
I don't. He doesn't know what's real and what isn't, and he's not called on it. But he's not called on it. Nobody says that's false.
Then again, every Democrat says this. Okay, whenever there's a Republican, we're always, worst economy since the Great Depression. Whenever they said that about President Bush. When John Kerry ran in 2004, this is the worst economy since the Great Depression. When unemployment was like super, super low.
Yeah.
And it was not nearly as bad as they made it out to be, frankly. They said that about Reagan. And how could they say that without laughing out loud? The worst economy since the Great Depression. It was probably the best economy since the Great Depression we've had.
And, they contradict themselves. For example, if the economy is great right now, which they try to claim, then why do college students need student debt forgiveness?
Yes. Why is that? Why do they need that?
Why would that be?
If everything is so bad, why do we need government paid for health care? You think they control pretty much all the levers of power.
Yeah.
Like in Maryland, all the levers of power from, at least in my county, Prince George's County, Baltimore City, Howard County, all the big counties. The Democrats control all the levers of power.
Yeah.
We may have one or two council members say on the Baltimore, the Fredericks County Council or the Anne Arundel County Council or the Baltimore City Council. But they still run roughshod over all of our guys, and then sometimes our guys aren't always on the money. They seem to be victims of the Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah. Well, it's I'm amazed at what he gets away with. My favorite is the new one that he claims he was the first member of his family to go to college, and his grandfather played college football.
Yeah, but it's like obviously, if Joe played football, he would have played football without a helmet.
And I'm just saying it logically, it doesn't make any sense. But you can't have two different positions. You can't say on one hand.
Yeah. And why were the Clintons at a state dinner with the Japanese prime minister?
Oh, I don't know.
They had a state dinner, and you had Hillary dressed in a kimono. And the Clintons were there. Jeff Bezos, all the uber wealthy people that gave him money at the New York fundraiser, where I think he was probably told more than once, "Oh, can you please step aside? I just want to picture with Bill Clinton or Barack Hussein Obama." But I think, and then this week we also had, we've had, Arizona Supreme Court upholds the 1864 abortion law.
Yeah.
Which, I am pro-life as the day is long, but I think we need to kind of, abortion is killing our candidates down the ballot, frankly.
Yeah.
I think Nikki Haley had a response. Even President Trump's got a more reasonable position on abortion than the Arizona Supreme Court, And
the court's simply looking at it from a legal standpoint, whether they agree with it or not. And so if that's the law in the book, then that's still the law in the books. It's not up to them to get rid of a law they don't like. That will be up to the legislature.
And President Trump should, I think, what he said, which part of USA Today had a different headline. They had a headline, then the Biden people called him and say, "Hey, what's this headline?" So they changed the headline. But what Trump said is absolutely right. Abortion is gone to the states to decide. It's state by state. You can decide the way it should be. It's a states' rights issue. And and we know the USA Today, they changed the headline. By the way, tying to the OJ, did you know I think it was the LA Times, they ran an obituary without editing and it said Donald Trump instead of OJ.
Oh, really?
They said he died after he got out of prison in 2017.
Huh.
And that's it's like the lefties at the LA Times. It's just wishful thinking for them, I think.
Yeah.
And I hope they get fired. Whoever did it, I hope they get fired.
Yeah, but probably not. It's LA Times. I don't know. Maybe.
And then you have, and by the way, I think this is the most, as how Lucy would say, of all the Charlie Browns, you're the Charlie Browniest of all the Charlie Brown, or of all the Charlie Brown things to say. Well, Sheila Jackson, of all the Sheila Jackson.
Oh, yeah. I know it's coming.
The moon is made up of mostly gases. She thinks we landed on Mars.
Yeah.
That's why she has to. Can you move the rover over to,
Well, and also, isn't she the one who said it'd be awfully hot if you walked on the sun?
Yes. And she's accompanied by some great in the United States economy. Is it Alfie Hastings who thought Guam was going to tip over?
I think it was Hank Johnson who thought it would flip over.
Oh, Hank Johnson. Okay.
Yeah.
Alfie Hastings probably said something else stupid.
One of the talk shows they were having the battle of who's the dumbest member of Congress, and they talked about different examples. And I think Jamal Bowman might have been right up there as well, because remember, he's the one that pulled the fire alarm when he meant to open the door.
That is such a juvenile thing. I remember my freshman year in high school, because back then we started after Labor Day, because in Maryland they understood that Ocean City needed people to work the beaches until Labor Day.
Yeah.
Before the first 30 days of school, we had over 40 false alarms being pulled by kids.
Oh man.
Yeah, my school was filled with a lot of Jamal Bowmans.
Well, at Mason, we used to have bomb threats around midterm time. People
Really?
would phone in bomb threats.
Take the exam. If you don't know it by the day of the exam, you're not going to know it. So, no amount of cramming is going to help you.
Yeah, and I thought that was horrible that someone would do such a thing, that I went to school with people that would do such a thing. I mean, I understand if you're in elementary school or something, well, that's not good, but you get a little more of a pass.
Mm-hmm. Hey, welcome, Jason. Welcome.
What's up, Dwight and David?
Yes.
How are you?
Hey, how are you? All right.
I'm eating dinner. I hope the audience doesn't mind.
Oh, no,
we don't mind.
No, go ahead.
I've got my bowl of crackers right here. The best cracker in the world, Cheez-Its.
Wow.
Cheez-Its are good. You know what?
Cheez-Its are good.
You know what I forgot about, Dwight?
What's that?
Did you ever get cheese nips?
Yeah, they're like little sticks, right?
No, they were like knockoff, less salty.
Mm-hmm. I've had those sticks. Whatever. I thought those were called cheese nips. What are those called? They're like Cheez-It sticks.
No, hold on. I'm pull up on my phone. How about whales?
Whales? What about
They're
whales?
good.
The
Yeah,
crackers?
or the fish.
Or goldfish.
Goldfish.
Were the whales just knockoff goldfish crackers?
Yeah, but for some reason I feel like whales might be older.
Really?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes, and I'm sure if you go to Aldi's,
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, I've had those.
Yeah, I've had those too.
Yeah, they're good. I liked them.
Susan knows cheese nips.
You know, the thing with Cheez-Its is they have different varieties. I used to just be the regular normal one for me, but that's now the original. And so now you have all kinds of different Cheez-Its.
Yeah, Cheez-Its
Huh?
Cheez-Its have the spicy Cheez-Its. They got the white cheddar Cheez-Its. They've got
that's right, or the toasted. I just still go with the original.
You know, they used to have big Cheez-Its. Do you remember those, Jason, David? They were like full-size cracker Cheez-Its. They don't make those anymore. I haven't seen them anymore.
I don't really necessarily remember those. No.
They have those. Yeah. I like the extra toasty ones too. Occasionally.
Yeah.
Normally I will go for just the normal.
I just don't like the white cheddar version of those. They have the white cheddar of Cheez-Its.
I have the buffalo one too. They were gross.
Yeah.
They were gross.
Then they also have I want to say they used to have it was like the cool what do you call ranch dressing Cheez-Its. They didn't taste that good.
No, I wouldn't like those.
But if you take Cheez-Its and put them in ranch dressing, that's not so bad.
You know, for Marylanders, they ought to do a Cheez-It with a Old Bay.
They had the goldfish Old Bay.
Oh, do they? Okay, that'd be good.
You can't find them anywhere though.
I don't think they make them anymore. I think that was a limited thing.
Okay.
Oh, is it? Was it just for yeah?
Because they do potato chips with Old Bay. They do nuts with Old Bay.
Well, you know the Utz crab chips. That's Old Bay.
Is that Old Bay too? Yeah.
There's no crabs in the creation of crab chips.
Old Bay is one of the great Maryland things. And when I think of Maryland things, you know, you got to consider Old Bay right up there.
Mm-hmm. Then there's Old Bay fries that you get Thrashers, which are really good.
Yeah.
Well, were we having a great political discussion before I broke in with just food talk?
No, we were talking about O.J. Simpson
taxes.
And Sheila Jackson Lee.
Oh my gosh, the Sheila Jackson Lee was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Remember, she also thinks we went to Mars.
Did you say the moon is made up of mostly gas?
Yeah.
Sheila, it's made out of cheese. Don't you know that?
And
green cheese
is made of cheese.
We could go to the sun.
And I thought she said that it would probably be very hot if you walked in the sun.
She left open like the possibility that people could potentially get to the sun.
Right. Yeah.
Well,
you wouldn't get close. You'd be so far away before you just vaporized.
Jason, you know, that brilliant genius, evil genius, Lex Luthor did go to the sun and talk to the sun people who came to Earth and turned the sun red so Superman would be powerless. And they helped Lex Luthor take over the Earth, but then they turned on Lex Luthor.
Well, what's most scary is that if the Democrats
in Congress, But
that she's going to be the chair of the Science and Space Committee or whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
oh, heaven help
I
us.
didn't realize she was the chairman. Wow.
But all those guys, they came out to NASA a few weeks ago to check out the hyperwall.
Oh, did you?
They have it.
Did you meet with them?
No, I was actually at NIST. I saw the email. At 3:00, we're having the congressional delegation of the Science and Technology Committee coming over. I was there once when they came. It was the Senate committee because Lisa Murkowski was there, and she was parked on the horseshoe part of because it was in the building where I had my office. She was parked, and I saw the Alaska plates. I'm like, "Who's here from Alaska?" Then I see Lisa Murkowski walking out of there. I would have stopped her and said, "Hey, can I get a selfie? And can you record an opening for Dr. Politics for us?"
That would have been great.
That would have been good.
Yeah. And
I mean, I'm sure there's some people who don't like Lisa Murkowski, but
still big.
Any type of Republican that wants to do an opener for Dr. Politics can do it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got Chris Christie, and a lot of people don't like him either.
Yeah, but it was good that you got him. Any senator or Republican elected officials.
I'm gonna get Bossy to do it for us. Next time I see Bossy, I'm gonna have him do it. Actually, you think Bossy could get Donald Trump to do that?
That'd be great. You're watching
Dr. Have to be an on-the-fly thing.
It would be, but yeah, I mean, I wonder if Bossy could do that. When he's hanging out with President Trump, Mr. President, could you just do this one little quick favor for my friend? Just say you're watching Dr. Politics.
I agree. I don't know that Trump would do it unless he saw the show, unless he checked us out first.
What's there not to like? We talk about food, politics, gardening.
Yeah.
But so
how are your Orioles doing? Season started, right? How's your Orioles?
Yes, we're doing great. It's Orioles magic,
Oh, it's Jackson Holiday's home opener tonight.
Yeah.
Oh,
really? Okay.
Yep, number one prospect in baseball. It's his first game at home. He played the other night. I don't think he got a hit. Right.
I just hope he does better than the last big rock star we had that was a dud.
Who was that?
Remember Ben McDonald?
I remember Ben McDonald, but you've had other stars since him. But yeah, I remember.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one that comes to mind.
But Ben McDonald did okay, right? He had a few good seasons, I thought.
No, he did. But the first game he pitched, he got rocked.
Oh, really? Okay.
All that pressure.
Well, that happens in the first game. And I don't think he was in the minors long. I think they brought him up pretty darn quick, right?
They did, yeah. That was also Orioles. That was also back when the Orioles were having a major pitching talent issue.
Yeah.
Well, that's Jackson Holiday too. I mean, he did 1 year last year in the minors, and then he did about a week and a half this year, and they called him right up.
I think we should have done a spring convention at the Bay Sox Stadium, by the way, just saying.
I would be into that. That's about 25 minutes. That's a close drive for me.
Yeah. I mean, we could all stay at the Bowie Company, which is like right around the corner. And
so the YRs did their convention before I was on the board. They did it at the Aberdeen Ironburns Stadium, Ripken Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Cost a lot of damn money. That's why I could look back in the books and it was expensive.
Actually, off season, the Bay Sox I used to go to a networking group, which was a total waste of money, but one of the meetings was at the Bay Sox Stadium. And they actually said, off season, if you want to use it, you get the entire stadium for as little as $1,000.
No, that's definitely cool.
This was like 20 years ago, and it was like $1,000, $2,000. So, so now it's got to be about $5,000. You think maybe?
I think it's about 3 or 4. I think that's what we paid for the Aberdeen. Well, what they paid for the Aberdeen one.
That's not bad, And Jason, your recent undergrad paid your student loans.
It's not as recent anymore. It's starting to be a little scary.
You've been out of college, what, 5 years?
4.
There you go, 4. That's recent. Trust me. You still have the college mentality a little bit. Actually, you don't, but most people your age would. Some of the people I went to school with were still acting like they were in college, like 6 years after they graduated. And they wonder why they couldn't find a real job real fast. But what do you think of Joe Biden wanting to cancel all the student loans again?
Okay. What's the price on it? What's the dollar amount? Is it all of them, or is it over a certain amount?
He wants to cancel $153 billion.
Or when he wanted to do it, it was student loans over $10,000.
I think it's the same thing this time. Or no, actually, it's like 20,000 in grad student loans that are like 25. I think it's 20 and 25.
Well, I should have started law school last year.
Yes.
Got the maximum amount. Maybe that's what I'll do.
Well, hopefully
it'll
get shot down. Dwight seems to think it still faces some legal challenges.
Well, it doesn't really affect me because I took a $1,000 student loan, and that was it. And now I make the payments on it. I don't want to pay it off, so I just make the $50 a month payments. I'll be happy if Joe Biden cancels it.
I had a free ride to college, from mom and dad, right? So why don't I get anything back?
Exactly. Give you the money to invest it.
Yeah, I could create jobs, and it could be a jobs program, Jason. But and then
Well, Dwight, I'll post you what I wrote, and if anyone sees it or anyone wants to take a look at it, I wrote a column on the student loan debt. So I wrote that today. So I was just trying to get the Substack up and running.
And inflation is up again.
Yep.
The price of gas is back up. Yeah.
So my CD is still paying, but now it's going to be paying a little bit less.
Yeah. Stock market went down 500 points yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah, because because the concern is, are they going to cut interest rates now? Because now that inflation is still, a little warm, if not hot. So I don't know if they're going to cut interest rates. They're planning on doing it here, but who knows?
Well,
and gas, Susan's right. Gas is up too. I noticed that as well. Like $3.79 I saw on Tyson's.
Well, I can top that for you.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure I can find other places more than that. But
and there wasn't
I tell you this. By the way, Jason, I had to fill up the Cadillac for the very first time.
Really?
$83.
It's the first time you're filling it up. You've been driving that thing for over a week.
Yeah, well, I've been driving that much, because it's been. I think what did it. I think driving to Dirks and back was the big hit on the gas tank.
Pretty far.
But that was a lot of fun. The book event at Dirk's house last week. But I'm just sticker shocked.
Honestly, for how hot gas is at the moment, and you driving that big Escalade, I feel like 83 is not as bad as I thought it would be.
No, it's not. Actually, it's not. Actually, if I go to Wawa's, I bet I could have gotten it done for $79 or $78. There's a Wawa's in PG County. I just drove by it today.
Is it on 301?
No. There's also the one on Route 1 is also, but this is like in the hood, so to speak. It's like,
really?
I was driving back I had to drop off some stuff for Liliana at University of Maryland, and I took Powder Mill Road back, and there was a Wawa's on Powder Mill Road.
I know there's one on 301.
Yep.
Sort of in almost rural PG County. That's down in Upper Marlboro that I've been to before, but
the one I normally will go to is the one on Route 1. The old one was easier to get into. The new one is inside the IKEA shopping center. So it's kind of a pain to get into.
Apparently there used to be one right off the campus at University of Maryland.
Yeah, but that was just the store. There was no gas.
No gas.
Yeah, it used to be a Highs. When I was there, it used to be a Highs. And then it was like a Herman's sports store. Then it became a Wawa's. But back in those days, you had a Taco Bell, like every other corner, there was like a Taco Bell in College Park. You had one there, you had one on the other side, you had one in engineering, you had one in the student union, you had one over in the business school.
Man, I would have loved if there was a Taco Bell in the student union when I was there.
And then there was a Taco Bell in South Campus Dining Hall. There was a...
We get a Baja Blast.
Yeah. By the way, back when I was at Maryland, Jason, the burritos were 39 cents.
They don't even have a dollar menu anymore. I think when it's like real cheap, it's like $1.50.
That's Bidenomics. That's Bidenomics for you. Mm-hmm. But we've got a whole bunch of stuff. Then you got the Sunny Halston, the smartest woman on The View, Jason.
Mm.
Who? I don't even know who's on The View.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
It's like she's one of the hens on The View, along with Joy Behar and Whoopi and the token Republican.
All I know isn't like the conservative one on The View, like not even a real conservative anymore.
Yeah, no, she's not. But Sunny, if she were in Congress, she'd give Sheila Jackson Lee a run for her money. Climate change caused the eclipse the other day.
I think I did see that.
What did she say? How did she put it?
I just think climate change caused the eclipse.
Yeah, they were talking about the eclipse, and then she goes, "Well, it's climate change that's causing all this." Yeah, and I'm thinking, are you kidding me? This woman.
Did she backtrack or someone correct her?
No. It's The View. Who's going to correct her? Joy Behar, please.
Yeah.
Joy Behar, who her claim to fame is she kind of looks like Bette Midler in the 80s.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, I have her full quote here. I'm reading the New York Post.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
The View co-host Sunny Hostin blamed Monday's solar eclipse, Friday's earthquake that was in New York City, and the expected cicada breeding season on climate change. This is her quote. All of those things together would maybe lead one to believe that either climate change exists or something is really going on.
Well, she doesn't think it's she doesn't think it's a plague sent by God, the cicadas, like on Egypt, But cicadas come out every 17 years. We just went through that a couple years ago. Thank God they're gone.
Cicadas come out every 17 years. Every two or 3 years. I feel like there are cicadas like every summer.
Well, those are you do have a few that do come out every year, but you don't get the big swarm type cicadas for 17 years. You've got the other. I remember when the cicadas came out. This woman was talking. She was on. She was on one of the local shows called. Because they were talking about eating cicadas, right? And she goes, "Well, I don't like when they're fully mature. I like them when they're when they're in their larval, half developed, like." And I'm like, so this woman advocates she eats the veal of cicada because liberals they hate veal, And if we're not a vegetarian, I would say, hey, they probably veal probably tastes really good.
I've never had.
At our Lincoln Day dinners, Jason, back in the 90s, we used to have veal.
Really? What would you guys do? Like a veal parmesan or something?
I'm not sure. I was a vegetarian, so I always got the tomato with cheese on it. So we get veal and we get a potato.
Right? Well, actually, I don't know. Can you eat a cicada?
No.
Does that count as vegetarian or no? It's an animal.
It counts as being disgusting. Even if I were a carnivore, I'd still not eat that. I wouldn't eat escargots. I would not eat sushi.
Oh, sushi's good.
Sushi's good, and escargot's not bad. Do you like oysters?
No.
No, oysters are good. Yeah.
No on an oyster. I think
I don't
oyster-
eat. I don't eat seafood either. I don't eat seafood either.
So
Unlike
it
there's
would be
a
white fish. I mean, you wouldn't not
Yeah.
seafood, but a fish you would a white fish.
well, it's safe to say anything with a face.
Anything with a what?
A face. That means I can't have potatoes either because it has eyes.
Dwight. And I
What's
hope
that?
you had. I hope you had one today.
What, a grilled cheese?
Grilled cheese for National Grilled Cheese.
Actually, I did. I made a gourmet grilled cheese at home with
Oh.
sourdough, American cheese, provolone, pepper jack, with chopped up jalapeno peppers and onions, and then Parmesan cheese on the outside of the bread. That's a gourmet grilled cheese. I'm a vegetarian. I'm not one of those fanatics like the vegans who won't eat dairy products. Is Liliana vegan? Because she said she didn't like cheese.
She doesn't like. According to Jake, he described Liliana to me as a potato-tarian.
Nope.
She just doesn't like meat. Doesn't really. She's just a very picky eater. And so French fries it is.
It's great seeing all these vegetarians in the Republican Party. When I first used to, I'd be like one of maybe it would be me and maybe one other person that was a vegetarian. Now there's like a lot of vegetarians. It's like, wow. Evidently, when I came to your dinner in Anne Arundel County, there's like a bunch of vegetarian. A lot of other people asked for vegetarian meals too.
Like 3 or 4 at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Matthew Foldy is a vegetarian, as is Liliana. There's that person from Baltimore. She used to be on the Baltimore County Central Committee. She's a vegetarian. And didn't want to choke on a cheese-it like when President Bush choked on a pretzel.
Yeah, I remember
that. There's G. Gordon Liddy was a vegetarian.
Well, I didn't know that.
Towards the end, he was a vegetarian. And somebody told me Michael Savage is a vegetarian too. But
I believe that.
Nah, Michael Savage.
I could believe that, yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
Didn't he have a show on NET?
No, you're thinking he looked like John Lofton. Maybe that was the confusion.
Oh, that's right. He had a show on MSNBC.
He did. That's right. Yeah, he did.
How times have changed.
Yeah, I know.
But
is Michael Savage still around? Is he still on the radio? I haven't heard him in years.
He's not in our market. Thank God. I thought he was horrible, frankly.
Yeah.
Almost as bad as the guy that's on there between noon to 3 on MAL.
Oh, Dan Bongina?
I can't listen to him. It's just irritating.
Well, he's a former Maryland guy, remember?
He's from New York. Then he moved to Savannah Park.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you know he applied for the county executive vacancy when what's his name got bounced out for issues?
Well, what do you mean applied? He ran for office? He ran
basically what's that?
You're talking about in Anne Arundel County?
Yeah, your county executive. Remember the one that
David doesn't know the background. We had a county executive in Anne Arundel County.
Okay.
Who had to resign in disgrace.
Okay.
For various legal problems.
Okay.
What did he do, Dwight? He met his mistress in the parking lot in the county vehicle at the mall.
Yes.
Wow.
And I believe it was the Annapolis Mall too.
Yeah, his employees changing his poop bag or whatever. It was rough. So anyway, he had to resign, and then our county we they don't do a special election. The county council just picks a new county executive of the same party.
Oh, okay.
And so all sorts of Republicans.
And how'd Laura Newman get that then? She's a Democrat.
Laura got the position because one Republican joined the 3 Democrats and voted for.
Was it? It
was Jerry Walker. I mean, I don't need to beat around the bush. You can just Google it. It was Jerry Walker.
Yeah, I know it was Jerry. I was gonna come up with the guy. Is it the guy that was? His name is the same as Herschel Walker.
So they ended up picking a Republican who immediately after ran for the full term, a year later and lost.
She lost to the great Steve Shue.
As soon as she lost in the primary, she switched her party.
And then she moved to Baltimore County.
Democrat, and she ran for governor last year.
Did she?
She finished 9th or 10th out of.
On the Democrat side, she ran for governor.
Yeah, she did.
And we're in the whole political thing, and we never really heard much about her running.
Nobody knew who the heck she was. Yeah, exactly. Nobody.
We didn't know she was running until we saw the election results. Oh, Laura Newman ran too.
I want to see how well she did. I mean, she might be a very nice person, but
yeah,
not a. Let's see, primary results from the governor. She got.
I hit the wrong button.
Why is she not on here? Oh, that's right. She ran for governor and then she dropped out. I don't think she ever actually filed.
If she had played her cards right, even though she was a squishy, Connie Morla-esque county executive for you guys, if she had been a team player, like come out and endorse Steve Shue after she lost the primary, she could have had a seat on the council, I bet. She probably could have. She probably could have gotten elected. She probably could have gotten elected to the state senate.
I have no idea where she lived.
Depending
on where she was living.
But I thought it was funny how she was. Always talking about her hard luck story. How she built a multi-million-dollar empire. Tech empire, and she sold and made a lot of money. And talked about how she comes from a broken home. Was it a broken home, or was she a former abuse victim?
It might be both. I don't remember.
But it's funny how it's funny. It's like I remember we had a candidate running for state senate in Montgomery County. I go, hey, don't you have any good hard luck stories? He goes, yeah. When I was going to. He went to a very one of the more exclusive private schools in Montgomery County. He goes, I had to drive an American car while all the other classmates drove BMWs, Jags, and Benzes. I had to drive an American car.
Well,
that's like Paul. That's like Paul Krugman.
Minutes. We got a rapid fire. I don't feel like we've hit any of these topics I got sitting.
No, we haven't. We talked some of them. Yeah, let's go through. Let's start with. Let's just start with Pence to become a visiting fellow at Grove City College. I think that's great great for the vice president.
Where's Grove City College?
Grove City College,
Pennsylvania.
Is it Pennsylvania?
I think it's Pennsylvania.
In Grove City.
It's one of.
Is this? Oh, when you Google Grove City College, the website says Grove City College, a conservative Christian college.
Yeah, Grove City.
Is it like it's like one of the college? It's like it's one of those schools like the College of the Ozarks and Hillsdale.
You have to work, right? At the College of the Ozarks, you have to work.
You have to work.
You have to. Well, you have to do I don't think I think College of the Ozarks is.
They give you chores.
But they, you have to chop trees or something, and that's how you pay your tuition. I'm not. It sounds goofy, but I'm pretty sure that's how.
Well, it's funny. You should mention that. Frank Lloyd Wright, great architect, right?
Falling Waters.
Yeah, he had his own architectural school.
Yeah, he did.
Taliesin. And you know something? You know who built Taliesin? The architecture students. He had the students build and pay him a tuition to go there.
Yeah, that's right.
And
he put him to work, like Jason was saying.
That's how they do the College of the Ozarks.
Yeah,
and it's out. You've ever been out there, Dwight? It's in the middle of nowhere.
No, but I tell you this: there's a friend of mine who he fancies himself as being a cross between Indiana Jones and the guy Giorgio Tsoukalos from Ancient Aliens. He likes to chase things. Like he spent 3 years ago, he spent the entire summer in New Jersey looking for the Jersey Devil. He went to the Pacific Northwest in search of Bigfoot. He went to the Ozarks to search for the monster of the Ozarks. And I asked him, "Who's that?" He goes, "Imagine if Bigfoot didn't have the publicity that he has. It's basically the monster of the Ozarks." He says that he goes, "It's the great monster of the Ozarks is the full name." And he also, and I'm like, and I go, "Is your wife cool with you chasing these weird things?" He went to Texas to look for the chupacabra. But I tell you, the best part was when he went to go see Bigfoot. He said he swore he heard noises around him when he was in the woods looking for Bigfoot. I'm like, "You sure it wasn't that proverbial tree that was falling and you were there, so it did make a sound?" But he's also been to Loch Ness. He told me about Chessie, the monster we have living in the Chesapeake Bay.
Oh, I've heard that one, but what is it?
It was on Captain Chesapeake. Remember that was the one that saved Captain Chesapeake is shipwrecked. It was Chessie that saved him. Captain Chesapeake, is that before your time?
I thought Maryland's cryptid thing was Goat Man.
Yeah, we got the goat. We've got a Goat Man too, and the Bunny Man from Prince George's County.
Well, I think Bigfoot was a hoax, right? Didn't they? It was a guy dressed in a suit.
That was just the government telling us it was
Bigfoot's
a hoax.
real.
Yeah. But so he likes to chase these exotic creatures and all that. Who knows? Maybe one day he'll come back and he'll find a little dinosaur and he'll bring it back as a pet or something like that. But
haven't they found like dinosaur eggs?
Yeah, they did. Let's see. Here's a good one. NPR. This should not shock anyone. They have their editorial board is 100% Democrats.
Oh yeah, see that?
Yeah.
They don't have any. You can't work it's everybody already knew that, but
yeah,
it's the bubble mentality. They're really just talking.
Why
to
is that
themselves.
even a shock to anybody? I mean, I remember they used to what do you call? By the way, hello to all of our people watching us on Rumble tonight. We're on Rumble for the first time.
We're on Rumble.
Yeah, we're on Rumble.
Oh, good.
After we trashed one of the portals. We're on Rumble. But remember NPR? That's a station where they talk really softly, and they got that weird.
Here in NPR.
Well, Dwight, if we're on Rumble, I need to be promoting my book.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that in Final Thoughts. Yes.
What's the book about? We're here at NPR tonight. It's so quiet.
Exactly. I think was it Click and Clack? The car guys they were the biggest stars of NPR.
Yeah, I think so.
But you also showing NPR Diane Reeves.
I remember her. Yeah.
Yeah, she's old. I saw her somewhere.
I heard she always sounded old, but she wasn't that old. Yeah, you're right, Susan. I do.
She looked. It's kind of like the opposite of Eleanor Clift. And is Click and Clack gone? Did they drop Click and Clack?
Oh.
I guess it was not political. The show was not political enough.
Guess. So, do you think there are any ramifications then? Are they going to lose public funding?
No, they're not. I mean, if we couldn't defund them when Newt was speaker, we're not going to defund them right now.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I like Mark Levin's line for them: National Panhandler Radio.
Yes, and then you got the Panhandle. Then you got their sister organization, the Panhandle Broadcasting System.
The thing is, you can't really shame them. I mean, for their standpoint, they're doing what they think is right, and they see the world the way they see the world. I don't think they're interested in other views. I don't think I don't think they
But
really
see,
care.
here's the thing. Then don't take taxpayer funded.
Well, I agree.
Go start your lefty radio network. Oh wait, they
I
tried
agree.
twice and it failed.
Yeah, I agree.
Remember Air America, Jason?
Hmm?
Air
That was
America?
before Jason's time. That'd been before Jason's
that
time.
was a lefty liberal radio station network they started.
Al Franken was on there. Remember Al Franken?
Yes, Al Franken. This guy named Lionel, who's an idiot, was on there. They had a bunch of weirdos on there.
Yeah.
And by the way, what thoughts on MSNBC interviews Michael Avenatti from his prison cell?
I saw that. That was another crazy thing. Called him from jail to get his legal advice.
You know, it's like, really? I mean, you're.
That's interesting. They can do that. I didn't know you can talk to prisoners.
I didn't follow it all. Wasn't he like totally discredited too? Like, I mean, whatever he got locked up for, like it wasn't. It was bad, right?
Yeah,
it was.
Bad.
It was. I think there was a number of things. I think it was corruption.
Yeah, you know, and by the way, electricity rates, Jason, have gone up. You know.
Oh my gosh, Dwight! They passed some terrible bills to make them go up even higher the next couple of years.
Oh yes, tell us what happened. Signing Die was this past Monday. Was it as much fun as the first Signing Die you ever attended?
Actually, I had a lot of fun on Signing Die for the first time.
Okay.
Because I probably didn't do that much work. Everybody else did.
But you have people for that now, Jason. You're moving on up in the world.
Yeah, right. You're right.
You're not working for a delegate anymore. You're working for the caucus.
Yeah, that's right.
I've been to your posh office.
Yeah,
on the third.
No, it is nice to have my own little room. I mean, that is a nice thing to have. Most people, I mean, when you're over in the House of Delegates, even if you're a delegate, you gotta share your space with somebody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think Sunday was too eventful. They did. See, the energy stuff really gets confusing to me.
Nobody got a DUI going home, right? Who was it appointed by the governor?
No.
You know what I'm referring to, right?
No. Everybody was okay. Yes, I talked to a friend of the show, Dr. Chris Tomlinson, on the day after. I think he had a good session, and I never realized that you have to check out of the hotel the next day. I saw him, he was like rushing back to his hotel, and he's like, "I got to get all my stuff out."
They wouldn't get. I mean, they don't give the. He put 3 months of his life on hold.
I figured they would give you through the week.
Yeah, I know.
Because even though the session ends on Monday, you know, all the employees and everybody remains full time through Friday.
Mm-hmm.
But no, the next
have all the delegates and senators left us for vacation?
I went in this week on Tuesday, and I saw 2 senators, and that was it. And I saw nobody else. So I think most people,
even the lobbyists have gone away. They've all went to DC. Yeah,
that's true. I mean, some of them do that as soon as session ends. They go start doing DC stuff. But I think there's a surcharge, whatever bill they passed, and I don't really understand the justification for it, other than they kept saying it's a credit card and you might as well pay it now and not let it pay in the future. But we have this Empower program that's supposed to lower the amount of electricity everybody uses, and it doesn't actually do that.
Is that called the kilowatt clubs that Pepco had?
No, it's a surcharge that shows up on everybody's bill, and I think right now for you and I, it's like $8 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then next year it'll go up to 16, and the next year it'll go up to 30, and the next year it'll go up to 40, and then it's going to be,
it's going to be capped.
Your bill will be up to like $45, an extra $45 a month because of this.
Yeah, well, I mean, I hope you have gas, heat, and water in your house at least.
I don't know.
Like, I'm glad I've got gas for heat and the water. I got electricity for my range and everything,
Yeah.
But it's but I tell you, this session could have been a lot worse for us.
Could have did the sales tax on services. That was a big deal.
But that died, right?
Oh yeah, it did. Now I
They'll
think
come back next year.
they're going to come back next year, and they're going to raise something. I don't know what.
Are they really going to raise it like right before election year? You know, they're all up for re-election in 20.
They didn't want to do it this year because they thought if they raised taxes, that it would make Larry Hogan win.
He's going to win. I've got news for you. When Democrats come up to me and say, "Hey, I'm voting for Larry Hogan," you know,
well, that's good news. I hope he wins. What about Robin Thicke? I hear his commercials here in Northern Virginia.
Oh gosh, he's got you know, say what you want about Robin, but man,
he puts his money
I
where
hear
his
about
mouth
him every day. I see a commercial.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the story is he bought every available space at MAL, every commercial spot he's got.
My view on this one is I'm generally with Robin, but in this case, we need Hogan. I mean, we're going to need the seat, and it's Maryland. You got to cut him a little slack.
Yeah, I appreciate all the things that Robin does. He does do some good things, but I think
don't get me wrong. I'm not anti-Robin. I just think that you got to.
Robin got us term limits in Montgomery County.
All right.
Hey, he's working on the term limit thing now, isn't he?
No, that's actually not his project. If it was his, I think he would have had all the signatures they need. I don't think they have all the signatures yet.
Oh, well, we're running out of time.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, we've got that. Let's see. So, you ready for a great convention in Hagerstown?
I am. You know who called me about it today?
Who's that?
Catherine Adelaide.
Did you tell her her motion died in committee? Her resolution.
No, I was no longer the chair of the committee, and she should call the chair of the committee.
Who is the chair now?
I don't know. Some lady named Susan. I've never met her.
Okay. But I tell you, my resolution died in committee too.
Yeah, I know. They didn't. None of those people wanted it. I didn't really. I mean, I was like, I think it's fine, but none of them wanted it.
Really?
Especially that old guy. There's an old guy from your county.
Yeah, I know. Bill Zartman. Yeah.
That guy's irritating. I don't
the
care.
guy still thinks. He worked with Governor McKeldin. If you remember, you probably remembered him from the 2022.
What is he? 125 years old?
About. But no,
and he's just like screaming, and he's just
don't you remember him at the convention?
Like, oh my God!
Don't you remember him at the convention in 2022, going up to the microphone, Mr. Chairman? And I'm thinking he's having flashbacks to the 52 convention when Eisenhower's name was placed in the nomination by Governor McKeldin. And he was having flashbacks. He was like, he was part of the. He wanted to allow Cordana and company to be on the ballot.
Oh, I bet.
But yeah, that was the most thrill he's had in a long time since the 52 convention. You know, going up there, shaking his fist, at the, and then like the Stalinists start banging on tables, right? Mm-hmm. And but we've got also. I think we're taxes are due Monday, Jason. Hopefully you get a refund from Uncle Sam. Yeah, join the club. My taxes this year are higher than what I made at my third job, and I thought I was making good money at my third job.
Well, I owe like a few $100, but so it's not too bad.
You know what's funny? There was a guy, he was a friend of Ray Kroll's in Baltimore, right? It was right around tax day. He comes out to Ray and goes, Ray, I should be allowed to claim the neighbor's kids as deduction. They come and play in the yard. They knock on the door. My wife gives them cookies and milk and candies and stuff. I should be able to claim them as my dependents. He was a funny guy. He started drinking at 9 a.m. also, by the way.
Oh wow.
He also told me when I was interviewing him, he goes, Ray goes to Washington a lot. I wish you'd take me sometime. I keep telling Ray, take me to Washington with you. I'm like, you've got a car. You live about an hour away from DC. You can go, and you know how to read a map. you can get to DC on your own. You don't need to be dependent. That's like something my grandmother would say to my granddad. Oh, take me to New York City. I haven't gone into the city. You go into the city all the time, but you don't ever take me into the city. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, when I hear people say stuff like that. It's like from another generation. But we are in extra innings. Final thoughts, everyone. Go, David.
Well, like I said, taxes are done, so I'm thankful for that. My manuscript for my book is done. I'm just waiting on editing and possible advice.
Let's see your book. Show your book.
Oh, well, this is the old one. We're talking about my next one. But Election of Consequences, Cautionary Tale.
Mm-hmm.
It is...
By the way, yeah, there you go.
It's a Virginia political tale. That's the Lee statue on front. It's fiction, but it's sort of not. It's a Romana Clay, and I tell the story sort of the culture wars in Virginia through characters. And I have the second part of it done, and it's being edited and looked at. I hope it works, and if it does, then hopefully in a matter of weeks or months, I'll have that to sell. And it's a standalone novel that I wrote. It's shorter than this one. This one's kind of long, but the one I wrote is about 46,000 words, so it's about 180 pages. So people can get through it, and you can get the whole story.
It's still longer than the Ray Kroll story. It's still longer than the Ray. It's still longer than the Ray Kroll story.
Yeah, it's about the same, and it's about the same size as Gatsby. Gatsby was 47,000 words. I don't think it's as
the original version of the Ray Kroll story. I had 420 pages on there.
Okay.
And then Ray got his red pen and didn't think we needed. He goes, the kids don't. Because nobody needs to know about World War II. Everybody knows about it in the history class. So he turned my story about him going to the war, which was 3 chapters, into consolidation of 1 chapter. There was a war. Ray went. He was a motorcycle scout. Finished first in his class, and liberated some.
I have my Ray Kroll story in the room over there, but I can't find it.
Oh, I've got it right here. I'll pull it. I'll bring it out. Hold on a second.
Well, anyway, I guess I'll go on. So keep your fingers crossed on that. And like I said, I'd hope it's going to work, and then I can start pushing that. And I'd like to start doing that soon. And otherwise, yeah, just looking forward to summer. And I am thankful, like I said, that the tax stuff is done. I was worried there. I thought I was going to take a real hit. So that turned out to be not so bad.
Oh.
But
yes, all right. Jason, I can't find my copy either.
Yeah, I don't know where I put mine at. Must be upstairs.
It's a good bedtime reading.
Well, and the last thing I'd ask for, Dwight, if it's possible, for my final thought, last thing, I started writing a Substack again, so I'll send you my Substack column.
Yeah, we'll put it in the newsletter next week.
Yeah, and then if Susan or anyone else watching might want to read it, then you'll have it, and then if they can get.
What's your Substack? What's the name of your Substack?
Well, I guess I don't know. Just have my name on. I don't know if I have an official name with Substack. Do they give you that or?
They will. Hold on. Let me see if I can't find it.
Well, I'll just send it to you, Dwight.
Okay, I'll figure it out.
All right, thanks, my friend. All right, I appreciate that. But that's it. That's my final thought for the night.
Jason, final thoughts. Go.
My final thought, all I've really done for the past 2 days is watch the Masters, and I've got it on in the living room. I can see it right there.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiger Woods just made the cut.
He did.
He did. He just broke the record. 26 straight Masters. He made the cut, made it to the weekend. So that's been quite interesting. And, I've really gotten into sort of the aura of the Masters is quite interesting. Just how there's no phones allowed. So everybody's there with disposable cameras, which is kind of neat. And then they have these courtesy.
Wait, people still use disposable cameras?
People go buy them just to take pictures of the Masters because you can't use your phone.
They don't let you use your phone, really?
Yep. And then you've got the pimento cheese and the egg salad sandwiches, or they're selling them for like $1.50.
Yeah, it's worth the drive to Georgia just to stock up on those sandwiches.
Right. So
I just go buy them, bring them up here, and sell them in front of the Orioles games.
It's definitely like a bucket list sport event. I would love to go to it one day. It's very tough to get in, though, I'm pretty sure.
But when you go to Augusta, Jason, don't speed. They're like speed Nazis.
Is that one of the towns where they'll give you a big ticket because they know you won't come back to court?
Yes. So yeah, that's I've driven through Augusta many a times.
Yeah, I've never been. It's interesting.
Yeah, that and the Kentucky Derby I'd always want to go to.
Well, Jason, have you ever gone to, well, back in the olden days, there used to be the Kemper Open.
Mm-hmm.
Then it moved to, now it's like an Avenue. I don't even know what it's called. It was called Booz Allen Classic at one point. But Kemper used to be in PG County.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I don't even know where that golf course was. They may have put houses on it.
The only golf course in PG County I can think of is they got the University of Maryland golf course, which is nice, and they've got the Bowie one, but I can't really.
That's the Joe Gibbs one, right? Is that the Joe Gibbs one? There's one that, because Joe Gibbs lived out that way too.
Yeah, probably the Bowie one.
But they did the Kemper there, and I've never been a golf fan. I think
I never have either. But you know what? I've gotten into it this year.
Well, you're going to be a lawyer, so you need to. Well, yeah, I guess lawyers golf too, but
practice my game.
Or you go to med school. Just switch over to med school, and then you really don't need to play golf.
No, you actually have to be smart to do that.
I think you offended all the lawyers in our viewing audience. You know what's funny though? I had a teacher in high school. He was a history teacher, and I asked him. I go, I go, what would you have been doing if you didn't do TU? I go, would you have gone to med school? He goes, no, I'm not smart enough. I probably would have just gone to law school.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's my final thought. I don't have anything else prepared, so that'll be
okay. One, I want to say congratulations to one of our viewers, Chris Anderson. He is running for Baltimore City Council. If I could find his, I'm sure he's got a website. Google Chris Anderson for Congress, Baltimore City. Give him a little donation. Chris is a great Republican. And he does a lot of great work for the Republican cause. Help him out. Send him some bucks. We should get Chris on Dr. Politics at some point.
I feel like he's on it before.
No, I think it was Direct Line. I think we've had him on Direct Line.
Maybe. I definitely remember being on one of the two shows kind of a long time ago.
Yeah, are we going to do a live show at this convention? We could do it in the... I mean, we can't have hospitality suites, so we may as well do that in the lobby of the hotel.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how we would get the live show. Well, did we do it live last time, or did we just?
No, we basically recorded it because we couldn't get the Wi-Fi signal was not strong enough.
Yeah, I think the live show was fun last time.
Yeah, we could do it again. We could have all these people drop in. We could have Spiro Agnew. I wonder if Spiro Agnew's nephew is going to be there. If he's there, we should have
definitely. He talked a long time.
Yeah. And
maybe you can get Mac Mathias's nephew.
Oh, that would be fun.
Just being fun.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's got.
Just being fun.
Jay Glenn Bell, right? His brother
Larry will be on it.
There you go. Larry has actually done. I think that was just the live events we used to do. Like, he used to come and speak in Montgomery County all the time before he ran for governor in 2014. And while he was running, he'd come on do First Thursdays, which is now evolved to Pizza and Politics. But speaking of Jason, we need to set up a Pizza and Politics in Annapolis.
All right. Well, next Tuesday, I need to go walk down by the dock to see if that place is even open.
Okay.
I walked by it on Sine Die, and it was it looked like they had started renovating it again, which they just did.
What do you mean? They're renovating it again? It's like
it was closed for like a year because they were renovating it before. So I'll walk by and see if that place is open. I mean, I can kind of just do whenever.
Otherwise, we could go to Rocco's. There's another place in that shopping center that Neil likes, which is it's in that shopping center. It's on one of the side streets as you're coming up. What is it, Row Boulevard? Yeah, when you're coming up, there's like a shopping center on the left.
Oh, that pizza place stinks.
Neil likes that. Neil liked that place.
It's
I've
not
gone there with Neil a couple of
It's
times.
not good. I've had it. It's I forget.
I mean, McCain's Elio's is better pizza than that.
I think this Mangia place is pretty good when it's open.
Mm-hmm. I've gone there with Neil, and that was really good too. But we could always go to Rocco's if that's closed. Is Rocco's? Do they have dine-ins? Like, do they have like places to sit at Rocco's?
Rocco's, yes, but you have to go up and order at the counter, which I know you don't like.
Yeah, I mean, we did that at Pizza. Oh, you didn't come to Pizza John's. That's what Pizza John's is.
Mangia in downtown Annapolis, you get waited on.
We can go there, but you don't know if that's open though, right?
I'll check on Tuesday and see if it's open.
Oh, there's another place.
Google says it's open, so I'll see it. I'll
there's also another place over on West Street that Corinne and I went for lunch, and they got good food there. It's that Blue something or another.
Luna Blue?
Yeah, that's it.
They have pizza as well. It's an Italian restaurant. It's good.
Yeah, it's good pizza, but it's pricier pizza.
It's definitely pricier.
But we've gone there a couple of times. I love their bread they have there. It's really good.
Yeah, Luna Blue's got good stuff.
How is the parking there? It's actually not bad. You got all that parking on the docks.
Yeah, there's parking right there. Yeah, you can park right. And sometimes there's spots right in front of the building too. There's also spots right in front of the building.
Mm-hmm. I figured we could go there on a Saturday or something like that. That way everyone can take part in the pizza and politics experience.
Yeah.
You haven't come to Missoni's either, have you?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
Oh, I'm still doing final thoughts. Other things, I've got a wonderful article out on the duck pin today. It is about the British Commonwealth and how that was the blueprint for the United Federation of Planets. My next article is going to be on the Treaty of Algernon. Was the Federation just plain stupid signing off on a treaty not to develop a cloaking device? But also other news, we've got a wonderful event. Jason, I think you're going to be there. I think you're sitting at my table. We have the tribute to Ellen Sauerbray.
Oh, good.
It's going to be on May 6th in Towson at the Sheraton. It's going to be a great event, an all-star cast. It's going to be the who's of Maryland politics will be there. Everybody will be. It'll be the biggest party we've had since the Ehrlich salute to 20 years we did last year. Just as big, just as nice, just as good as the food, It'll be a great event. Go to mdgop.org to buy your tickets today. And in the comment section, tell them the doctor sent you. And what else is going on? And then there's a whole lot of Lincoln Day dinners coming up. Garrett County has a Lincoln Day dinner on the 3rd. It's a great event. They've got Wesley Hunt is their speaker, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then there's honestly one of the shore counties has a dinner coming up too, don't they? Queen Anne's.
Queen Anne's County's got one, and Kent County's got one a little bit further out.
Mm-hmm. And then we've got the Maryland GOP convention in Hagerstown. Come see us live Friday, May 17th at the lovely Hagerstown Hampton Inns. And by the way, Jason, you can't wait to see the pins I'm going to get for this year's convention. You know how I like to stay within the theme of the area we're in, But that's it for my final thoughts. We'll see everyone next week. And what do you call it? I just saw an email pop up that Dave sent me a Substack.
Oh, yeah, I sent you the column. So
yeah, I'm looking for it right now. Okay. You ready for? Oh, here we go.
What was that?
Your Substack is davidshepard.substack.com.
Okay, yeah. All right,
that is how you find David's Substack. davidshepard.substack.com.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have somebody make you a nice little graphic. The graphic's not that nice. Have somebody come up with a nice graphic for you.
All right. Well, thank you.
And
but you might get a
thank you,
kick out
everyone.
of it. You might like the
Thank
cone.
you, everyone, to all of our viewers on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, and Twitter. Good night, everyone. And we'll
Good
see
night,
you all.
Jason and Dwight and everybody
next
else,
week.
and Susan and everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're